Hello friends, I'm Joe Danger and welcome to a Let's Play of Deep Sky Derelicts. Now this is still in early access. As you can see here, it is version 0.5.1, but I enjoy it quite a bit and hopefully you guys will too. It is a turn-based sort of exploration game. You got 3 characters. I've seen it compared to Darkest Dungeon. It's not unlike that. It's something like that, but it's also got this card sort of thing going on. You know what? Instead of talking about it, let's just get into it. So we're going to start a new campaign. We're just going to hit random once just to see what we got. And what do we have? 2 techs. You know what? We're going to hit random again just so we have some variance in the people. Okay, so we have Bruiser, Tweaker the Bruiser, who is neurotic, gives him +2 initiative. Cool. Boxer the Technician. You would think that their names would be switched, but that's okay. The Tech. Charismatic, +15 mental. That'll probably never come in handy, so we're going to change it. Crafty. Yeah, that's fine. Then Schaefer, the leader. Alright, very good. And now Schaefer is neurotic, +2 initiative. Cool. So we've got that. I'm going to leave it on normal because saving is important, as I found out in my last Let's Play. And without further ado, let's go. Now, I'm not going to go into reading the whole shebang on everything. I'm just going to give you the quick version. So basically, Schaefer, our leader guy, is talking to the sub-governor. Sub-governor's like, hey, you really want to get off of here? You want to go do some cool stuff? Well, I need you to go and explore these great big spaceships that are out there. Have been forever, it sounds like, as far as the game lore goes. And basically, we're trying to figure out where more of the spaceships are to go and explore those spaceships as well, and eventually it's going to lead us to something or another. I haven't gotten far enough to figure out what that is. The governor isn't exactly forthcoming about it. First, we're going to go over to contracts here, and we're going to just take all these contracts. I'm going to start kind of quick here, just to kind of get into the funness of it. So there's that. Now we're going to explore all these things later, but basically the station halls where we just came out of. Pawn shop, buy and sell things. We can't afford anything and there's nothing to sell. We were just at the lair to get some quests, and the research workshop is pretty cool. Medical, all this makes sense. But first, here's our pilot. We are going to go to the first, basically we're looking here for the level 1. Now these are randomly generated. This is a rogue-like game. Is this us? That's us. So all of this is randomly generated, the people are randomly generated, and the loot is randomly generated. And the loot is what makes this game pretty neat, in my opinion, because as we go here, well, let's put a pin in the loot, I suppose. So here's the spaceship that we're exploring. There's us right there, and we can scan, which uses energy. We can walk around, which uses much less energy. Basically, we're just going to go explore. If you run out of energy, you're kind of screwed, so don't do that. You always want to make it back to here before you run out. So we're just going to start. Let's make sure we get this little corner over here. So although this is... well, we'll get to it. We'll get to it. That's going to be a person or something like that. You kind of get used to exactly what all these little icons and whatnot mean. Oh... There's probably not going to be anything over here, but you know what? Let's just walk it anyway. Oh, hey, all right. So we found some skinks. Cool. So now I can show off the combat a little bit. Now, a group of lizards are scurrying about the room. Suddenly, they stop and stare at you. You hear a voice. Prepare to fight. All right. So we've got our 3 characters here. Now, each of the characters have certain cards that are given to them based on their weapons. As well as their shield and their tools and whatever they happen to be carrying, as well as certain perks that they will develop as they level up. So you can see Schaefer here, he happened to draw these 4 cards to start with, and we can use any of them. So we could do double shot, which does 2 shots times 4 damage. These guys all have 15 health and no current effects on them. You can actually click down here and see a little bit more what their initiative is, all that stuff. By the way, a really handy thing that I'm stuck on, apparently. Can we make you go away? Okay, hang on. Technical difficulties. You know, I remember playing this game and it works fine. Oh, you just gotta click back there. Sometimes these characters can be a little hard to target, so anyway, let's just go ahead and Doing 65, yeah, this'll do the most damage. You can click up here to hit them, however, sometimes you'll find that, like, if you're just on the border, it'll kind of flip between, and I'm trying to get myself in the habit of always aiming for their cards down here. So anyway, let's go ahead and take a shot. Also, this down here is their order, their turn order, so Schaefer's up first, then all these skinks are going to go. And then Boxer and Tweaker, and hopefully we'll be able to take one of these dudes out completely before their turn. Alright, so we got that guy down to 7, as predicted. Now, they do damage, they did damage right there to the shields. Crit for the shield, and that's alright, because at the end of this combat, the shields will all go back up to full. See, he's got 6 shields left. Once those 6 shields are gone, though, if they keep focusing on this guy, then they're going to start eating away at his health. And health, you have to pay back at that medical center, back on base. So 3 times 2 to 3. That's going to be 6 to 9, which should be enough to drop you. Oh, let's remember, Joe, what we're doing here. Oh, come on, boo. Alright, so I don't want this guy to get focus killed, so we're going to go ahead and do a provoking strike on this guy. He's going to be our tank, if you couldn't tell. He looks a little tanky, I would expect that you could guess that. And as much of a giant waste as it is, yeah, we're going to go ahead and smack this guy. Yeah, yep, let's just do it. Let's get him out of there. As in a lot of games like this, you always kind of want to focus one down. And then start working on the others. So I'll go over some of the other cards that they have in here, but let's just make this a nice, simple damage sort of combat. Now, because this guy taunted, they're all going to attack him, which is great. We don't want him taking any more than 6 more damage. You can see some of these, the damage is listed there as 7 damage, does 100% weapon damage. Some like this does less damage, but the target receives -5 initiative for 2 turns. I'm not huge on like initiative bashes, so I don't think that's important, especially when we can do just enough damage to kill him. And so we win. And so now we're just down to 1 dude, Boxer here, who's our tech. Yeah. Okay, so Boxer doesn't have any attacks this turn, so now we're going to have to do something more interesting. These guys don't do a ton of damage, so it would make a lot of sense just to boost up our shields here, in case he does attack us and does do more than 6 damage. Now that charge, or that boost that we just did, not only did it fill our shields to full, but it actually increased our maximum shields for a couple turns, which is huge in the middle of a fight. Alright, so we will just, keep on focusing on this guy, bring him down. There we go. Single strike, more than enough. Show him what he's won. Alright, cool, great. So we already got a new ranged weapon. We got a mod for a ranged weapon, and we got some junk, so we'll just take it all. Now I'll go into the inventory a little bit and kind of show you what that's about. So, here's our mercenary. He's the big bruiser guy. He uses 1 heavy melee weapon, 1 tool, and 1 shield core. Now these are the stats that you might have noticed at the beginning. Now he's got super high weaponry, and my dog has to go out, but she's going to have to wait for a second. Super high weaponry. Alright, just kidding. I'll figure out how to edit this in a second. I'll be right back. Okay, thanks dog for making sure that I have to do some post-processing on this one. Alright, not to worry. So, the weapons that he's got, the weapon skill, affects weaponry cards. So you can see more damage, more duration, more crit. These are weaponry cards because they come from a weapon. Tech. Now there's different kinds of tools. This is a weapon tool, so actually these, I believe, are still weapon cards. Cool. And then you've got this, shield core. These, and one thing I do wish that this game was a little bit better at is telling you exactly which cards they went to. Now I believe all the shields actually are tech. Alright, so let's go to another character here. Ranged weapon. Now this is any ranged weapon, which means we could switch over to this. Now you can see on the bottom which cards it's giving us. So that burst fire that we did a couple times with this character in the last combat was because this weapon gives those cards. Cool. Now if we take this out, we swap it for this, and we actually do it. Oh, I think there's a click and drag thing it wants. Yep, you can't just click. So now we've got one less card, but you can see it's doing a little more damage. So this does 7 base damage. That radiation shot does 125% weapon damage and applies radiation. And all that means is they can't heal or increase their shields anymore. So that's cool. This definitely does more damage, but you can see, like, our tech is going to be not doing a lot of attacking with it because it's all these other cards. So what I think I'm going to do, so this is all shield recharge, which is all tech stuff, which is what the tech or the technician's very good at. So recharge, by default, because it's a technician, you get these shield boosts. I think that we could actually drop this tool out. Come on, drop it out. Aha, drop it out. There we go. See, now we've got a few less cards, and I'm almost tempted to drop this out too and just go with these recharge shields. Really small deck, but you can see it's super shield boost, minor shield recharge, and then a couple decent damage. Yeah, it's going to be hard for a boxer not to do something useful. Oh, almost forgot. Okay, so this ranged weapon, we can put this on it, plus 25% critical damage bonus and 8% to puncture through any armor that enemies have. We haven't run into that yet. Okay, it also adds this vulnerability shot, which does 125% weapon damage. I can just about read that. Hopefully you can. 15%. Yeah, let's do this. Let's just drop it on there and take a look. Vulnerability shot, minus 15 damage resistance for 2 turns. Now that's on the enemy, and basically what that means is they're going to take 15% more damage. Now it is additive, not multiplicative, so if you keep on smacking them with that, it's just going to keep on adding up. So, alright, so now we've got 3 nice attacks, and then a good amount of shields. It's going to be unlikely that we'll never be able to do one or the other, so I like that setup. Eventually we'll get some tools and some mods and some fun stuff that we'll definitely want to throw in for them. And that's it for that loot, so let's get out of here. Now we have definitely gone through all this, so let's go ahead and find out what this little triangle is. And you can see our energy is going down quite a bit here. Alright. Okay. Now I will go through the missions a little more, but because I want to make this a quick little intro sort of to the game, see if there's any interest in even watching this get played, let me just sum this up. This is one of our side quests. James here is after, looks like Hansel Jolas. And if we get her to go back to the station, we will achieve that quest. Huzzah. Okay, so we'll keep an eye out for her as we proceed through the derelict. Now, you can upgrade your scanner. Oh, looks like we found some loot. Yep, just some garbage. Now, you can upgrade the scanner so that it'll scan further, but at first, I kind of like to take a couple blind steps so that you can scan further. So now we've got some zomboids here. Okay, so let's take a look at some of the other things that our leader can do. Now, the leader has mental stats. So, a self or ally draws a card and gains 20% damage for 2 turns. So that could be really nice, especially if we want, say, our boxer to be able to, you know, deal some serious damage, which we might want to do. If we could get another 20% damage and one of those higher damage cards, we could potentially take out half their health in one hit, which sounds pretty sweet, because if we hit 6... we're still going to need 4 or 6 damage shots to kill one of those guys. Let's go for it, because Boxer is not going to need to recharge anyone's shields by the time it is her turn. I'm just realizing Boxer may well be... Okay, I don't know. I'm not going to provoke yet. I'll let them spread their damage around for a little bit here. We can reduce their initiative, but they can't go any later than they already do. We can make them take more damage, even more damage, for 3 turns. Let's go ahead and drop that on one of these guys. And we will cross our fingers that Boxer has like a vulnerability shot to really stack on there. And we don't. We have a radiation shot. So this is that rare situation that I was talking about where we almost aren't able to do any damage. That's alright. So you can see on this guy we do 10, but because this dude, and we can click on him and see, detect vulnerabilities, 33 damage resistance for 3 turns. Boom. Boom, boom. And we put it back, radiation shot, Click on that. 13 damage. Not bad. Not bad at all. That should mean that we can take him out in one shot again. So let's see where these guys throw their damage around. Alright, hits Boxer. Misses Boxer. Awesome. Alright, so Schaefer's up again. No, can only... So some of the shield packs can only recharge themselves. So our leader here of all people can only recharge himself because he is selfish like that. So we've got single shot, single strike, and there's a difference between melee and long range as well, I should add. And then we've got the double shot here. The double shot with the damage resistance, yep, 2 times 5, that will kill that zombie. 5 and 5, boom, there's another kill. It's very unlikely that we will be able to take this fella out before his next turn, but let's take a look. Maybe we just want to recharge our shields. Yeah, let's do that. Let's just play it safe. Never really... Okay, actually, I was going to say it doesn't hurt to long play it, but you can see this bar right at the top here, and that is our energy, the same energy that we're spending to run around this big, hulking, massive ship. So, as a result, if we take extra long and, you know, do little bits of damage, or heal and heal and heal, and poke, 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 heal, heal, heal ourselves, and make the combat take a long time. Basically, each of these turns, every time you draw a card, I believe, takes, well, on your turn, takes 10 energy. So, that is a poor strategy because, as I found out in my first game, if you run out of energy, all your dudes just sit there and take punishment. Just bam, 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 until they are no more. Don't let that happen. Let's not end this run like that. And there we are. Now, the dog is continuing to yell, so... wait. Level 1 shield core. Awesome. Awesome. Great, great, great. Already getting an upgrade to our shields, so we'll take all that. I am going to leave our first video there so that I can go deal with the yelling dog again. But I hope you guys are interested in watching some of this because it's a game that I mean to play one way or the other. So let me know if you like it. Please like the video, especially this first one, if this is something that you want to see. Subscribe. Watch me on Twitch, Joe Danger Pants. And yeah, thank you very much for watching. I appreciate you all. I'm Joe Danger. Bye forever.